Welcome to the first introductory clip for Nightmare on Simp Street. So this is gonna be a vlog, I think, a reading vlog. I will put the bingo board here about the prompts that I've already crossed out. If my memory serves me correctly, I have already crossed out share your spooky TBR on the server because I have already shared it, and do a reading sprint because I've already done a reading sprint. Okay, so let's talk about the books that I'm gonna read for this vlog. So for uneven number of pages, I'm going to be reading Nevermore. It's 461 pages. For 13 letters in the title, I'm going to be reading Mexican Gothic. For mystery thriller, I'm gonna be reading The Turn of the Key. A book with a black cover, I'm gonna be reading Girl Forgotten. Manga or webtoon, I'm gonna be reading Gata Butata. Picked by someone else, I'm gonna be reading because this one was a post that I did on Instagram where I asked people to help me choose my autumn TBR kind of for my cozy reads. And for Magical Being, I'm gonna be reading so very exciting TBR. I am already more than halfway through Girl Forgotten, this one, thanks to Times Reads for sending this to me. I'm at page 236 out of 390, so I'm very happy to say that I'm actually enjoying this much better than Pieces of Her, which was the first book in this series. So this one basically follows Andrea, who is from the first book. So now she has become a marshal and she is on her assignment, I think, and she went to this town which just so happens to be linked to her father when he was young in this town. Officially, she's trying to protect this judge and trying to help find out where's the source of her threat or something like that, because someone is threatening the judge. But really, she's trying to get to the roots of what happened to Emily Vaughn, who was from the past, 1982. So something happened to her. Basically, she was at a party and she woke up after a while. She didn't know how she got unconscious, but I think it was the drugs or something. And then when she woke up, she found that her dress was on upside down and her underwear was gone. So after that, she discovered that she was pregnant, and so she doesn't know who is the father. We're basically trying to find out who is the father alongside her, and that is the historical timeline, what happened in the past, and then Andrea is the current timeline. So we have two timelines, and I'm quite interested in both, which is such a relief because I was very scared I wouldn't enjoy this one also. You can go check out the reading vlog where I read Pieces of Her. We are following this cast of characters that are still present in Andrea's timeline because they're still alive, but also in the past timeline when they were all younger, we're still trying to figure out what's happening, and Andrea is trying to figure it out from the present timeline. And there's also a new case that's recently happened that may be linked to Emily's case in the past. That's really the gist of the story, and I'm quite interested in it. So hopefully I can finish it soon because I want to get to quite a lot of books in October. It's already the 7th of October. So yes, I'll update you again when I have more updates once I'm further into the book. So it is the next day and I have finished Girl Forgotten. Anyway, let's talk about my outfit first. So I kind of wore this because it kind of gave me autumn vibes because it looks a little bit like fall themed. I'm not really sure, but that's why I decided to wear this. But anyway, let's talk about trigger warnings for Girl Forgotten. Trigger warnings for murder, eating disorder, rape, sexual assault, domestic abuse, bullying, physical abuse, emotional abuse, suicide, pregnancy, homophobia, suicide attempt, drug use, toxic friendship, fat phobia, misogyny, self-harm, terminal illness, trafficking, sexual harassment, body shaming, and panic attacks. So in the end, I decided to give Girl Forgotten 3.5 stars. In my first clip when I introduced this book to you, I wasn't doing a very good job because I was rushing to get out of the house, so I didn't tell you that Emily actually died. So we are not just finding out who is the father of her baby, but we're also trying to find out who killed her in the end. But I forgot to tell you that because at that time where I was in the book, when we were in the historical timeline, Emily was obsessed with finding out who did this to her. And of course, she didn't know that she was going to die. And then in the present timeline, we were more focused on the case at the farm where this girl committed suicide, and they're trying to see whether there's a link between Emily's case and that girl's case. I decided to give it 3.5 in the end because I mostly enjoyed the book, but towards the end, I felt like the reviews were a little lackluster. At that point, it just felt like anyone could have done it, and I would have agreed with them also. But I really did enjoy Emily's perspective and Andrea's perspective, but I guess it's just towards the end, there was just that something missing. So yeah, I decided to give it 3.5 in the end. However, it's still quite a good rating, and I'm very glad that I enjoyed this much more than I did Pieces of Her. So yeah, with that, I have completed the prompt for the bingo board, which will be on screen now. So with that, I have completed Read a Book with a Black Cover. Even though my copy is black, the actual copy is black as well, so it counts. With that, I'm almost done with the first vertical. Wait, I actually can cross out the last one. Okay, so I think I'll show you the newer one because I did 4 to 5 prompts in the bingo, but I did 4, meaning the first 3 down and then the reading sprint 1, which means I just need to read a book with an uneven number of pages to cross out my first bingo. I can also cross out read a thriller / mystery because this one can double count. So the next book that I will be reading is actually Nevermore by Jessica Townsend. Let me go grab it. So I have Nevermore by Jessica Townsend. I bought it in a book haul video, which I'll link up above for you to check it out if you want to. So I felt like I needed a change of pace. So yeah, that's what I'll be reading. But I don't think I will be updating it in this vlog because I'm gonna do a dedicated reading vlog for this and a few other books. So yeah, stay tuned for my thoughts on this one, I guess, and I'll let you know when I pick up another book for this vlog. Hi, so to give you some update, it's been I think a week or maybe 2 weeks, no, probably a week since my previous update, because I actually need to update you on changes to the bingo board. There has been quite a bit of progress. I realized that I crossed out read a thriller or mystery for Girl Forgotten, which means that I technically don't have to read this next book that I'm going to talk to you about. But we already started, so there's no point in going back anymore. This is just a mixture of books. I shared a spooky story. I hope I have some clip to show you now if I share a spooky story on the server. After that, I completed Nevermore for the prompt read a book with an uneven number of pages, which got me my first bingo over here. However, I will not let you know any thoughts on it because it's being filmed for another video. So sorry that there's like this chaos, but please wait for my thoughts for that video. I started on another book already, which is The Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware. This book over here, I feel like it's a booktube favorite. Everybody has talked about this, and I have put off reading this book until now because I thought it kind of fit like the spooky Spooktober vibes. I am quite early on. I'm at page 70 out of page 340, so still quite a lot to go, but I'm very intrigued already, which I'm very happy to say. So okay, let's talk about what this book is about. When Rowan stumbles across the advert, she's looking for something else completely, but it seems like too good for an opportunity to miss. A live-in nanny position with a staggeringly generous salary, and when Rowan arrives at Heatherbury house, she's smitten by the luxurious smart home fitted out with all modern conveniences, by the beautiful Scottish Highlands, and by this picture-perfect family. What she doesn't know is that she's stepping into a nightmare, one that will end with a child dead and her in a cell awaiting trial for murder. She knows she's made mistakes, but she maintains she's not guilty, at least not of murder, which means someone else is. Okay, so where I'm at in the book right now is that she's in the midst of an interview with the mother of this household, and she's getting to know the kids for the first time, interacting with them for the first time. So there's 3 kids currently in the house. One is away at boarding school. As mentioned in the synopsis, she's amazed by this smart home with all these weird contraptions. Apparently there's this panel where you press in, then like weird symbols will come out. It's not very intuitive, which from what I learned in communications and new media, it's not something you want to do, because you want your product to be intuitive so that people kind of know and can easily tell what it's supposed to do. For example, she wanted to close the curtains, but there's no curtain resembling symbol, so she had to keep trying. In the end, she had to resort to the voice recognition thing, which kind of worked, but what's the point of the button in that case? And then she's trying to shower, but there's like these preset modes for the past 4 nannies who have been in this house, and a guest mode. So she's just trying to figure things out. This is just a lesson for when things sound too good to be true, they normally are, so don't be fooled. And I'm just excited, man. Like, I have no idea what's gonna happen, but I hope this will scare me. Originally, this video was meant to be kind of like a reading books that will hopefully scare me video, but it kind of merged with the Nightmare on Simp Street video, so I guess it still fits the theme. Girl Forgotten was a mystery thriller which I had hoped would scare me. Did it scare me? I don't think so, so maybe this one will. I'll keep you updated. Remember to stay hydrated. Although I'm currently hydrating myself with bubble tea again. This time I got Liho. I got the Member 190 classic milk tea with golden pearls with less sweet. I should have gotten least, but I forgot. While I was panicking, I said less, and I just couldn't bring myself to change it again. So yeah, I momentarily changed my case for the 17 concert. Admire WOOZI before I change it back. So yeah, I'll keep you updated. I forgot to let you know that today is actually the 24-hour readathon for Nightmare on Simp Street. It's my time, yesterday night 11 p.m. to tonight 11 p.m. I think. So it is already 3:47 p.m. I guess I'll just try to read however much I can of The Turn of the Key. So after today, I can officially cross off the join a 24-hour readathon prompt, as well as read for 1 hour straight, because let me show you my stopwatch. I managed to read for 1 hour straight. It was kind of like an on the commute thing, so I couldn't really record myself, but yeah, I read for 1 hour. Yeah, 1 hour 5 minutes. Yes, so I can cross that off on the bingo board as well. So that's all I came here to say, and I'll keep you updated.
Everybody scream! Everybody scream! I'm the clown with the tearaway face! You're a flash in front of the trace! I'm the who comes there! I am the shadow of the moon at night, filling your dreams with a brave new fright. This is Halloween, this is Halloween, 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 Halloween.
I finally feel well enough and look presentable enough to come and give you an update. So I don't think I'm going to include it in a separate vlog because I didn't do anything except watch shows and just sleep. But I basically got COVID. So over the past 6 days, so today is Thursday, I tested negative today. The Saturday night, I tested positive. So it was like about 6 days, because they count day 1 as the day that you test positive, if that makes sense. Yeah, my cough hasn't gone away yet. The first night and onto the second day, I was just having fever on and off, and it was a bit scary because my fever would get until like 38.9 degrees Celsius. I would feel fine, but if I didn't test, I wouldn't know that I'm not feeling fine. I had to eat a lot of Panadol. Oh my god, I haven't eaten so much Panadol in a long time. So when I ate a few days into it, I was just getting so tired of trying to swallow all the pills that I actually gagged it up, but I swallowed it back down. It sounds gross, but yeah, like skip ahead if you don't want to hear about this. That was that day, so I was just bedridden the whole day. I just slept a lot, and then I had cough. I had sore throat the night. Then the next day it developed into cough. The day after that, I think it developed into cough with phlegm. Oh my gosh, it was a lot of phlegm. A lot. Oh, and my nose was, I didn't realize that I was having a cold. I thought it was just sinus, but I think I had a cold. But I think I just slept it away. I didn't eat any medication for that, except on the first day, night, yesterday, or the day before. So it was like Tuesday, I think. Tuesday. So it's day 4, I lost my taste. So I got Max. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna like overlay all the clips. So I got Max, and it's very weird because I could taste my burger, but I couldn't taste anything from my iced lemon tea. And I can't even tell if my voice sounds weird. It just tasted cold, and that's all. I couldn't taste anything from it. And then I think I slowly started to realize that I lost my sense of smell also. So I ate this dumpling the next morning. I can't smell this, and I can't taste it. My god, it's so weird. And I think you would have heard me say from that clip that I couldn't smell it, I couldn't taste it. I could just taste that it was hot. It's very weird because there were certain things that I could taste still. Like for example, I think it was like maybe the next day I ate an eclair and I could taste the chocolate. Or maybe I was just associating the taste because I know what that taste is. And it was like very rich. Just this very rich feeling. So I think I could taste or feel it. I don't know how to describe this. Oh my god, okay, so I ate Maggi mee, like instant noodles. Could not tell what flavour it was. It tasted spicy. Yeah, there's that. There was like fish ball in it also. Or sotong ball. I couldn't taste it, so I have no idea. Dinner, I had some kind of chicken rice kind of thing. I could taste that it was juicy, but I couldn't taste the actual chicken itself. But it doesn't feel that bad. Like whenever I hear people saying that they lost their taste during COVID, I'll be like, oh my god, like how would you even want to eat anything? Because you can't taste anything, right? But you can actually taste the textures, you can still taste the flavour profile. I could taste sweet and spicy. The others like salty, I couldn't. Yeah, it's not that bad, but it's just, I guess it made me not want to eat as much in a sense because flavor makes everything better, right? Today morning, I have another one so I can show it to you. I ate this, which I love. It's some kind of Hokkaido milk cheese thing. I could smell the cheese and I could briefly taste the cheese. Then I got so excited thinking that my smell and taste came back because I opened this bag and could smell the candy inside also. So I love Thai mei, the braised chicken rice thing with bubble tea. I could briefly taste the chicken rice. I could tell that there is flavour. I could taste the spiciness of the chicken, but I couldn't taste my bubble tea, so I shouldn't have gotten it. But I just knew that it tasted very sweet, but not what flavour it was. So it's just very interesting to experience, but just don't get COVID, guys. Oh my god, the first day was so terrible. The first and second night was terrible. I woke up feeling very, very hot, and that was when I tested the temperature and I was like apparently having high fever. Oh, it was so uncomfortable. You feel that sense of not knowing what to do because it was like 4 a.m. and I cannot go out. Nobody can come in. So it's kind of like, what do I do, you know? But okay, I went out to the toilet. I found a towel in my room and I just wet it and just put it on myself. And I just kind of got through the night. But yeah, it was not something that is fun. Thankfully, like the fever went away. Out of everything, I was just very annoyed with the fever and the phlegm. Oh my gosh, the phlegm. Losing taste and smell is like kind of sad, but it's quite interesting because I've never experienced it before. I wouldn't want to get COVID again. But I guess I got some form of rest for the past 6 days. I was working like 2 of those days, but anyway, I was watching a lot of things and I was crying in a lot of them, which I think I'll show in another video. I want to talk to you about Young Actors Retreat also. Oh my gosh, okay, so it's not Halloween themed, but I watched Young Actors Retreat. It's so good. Oh my gosh, I'm a fan of Hwang In-yeop now. And Kwak Dong-yeon, I was always a fan, but even more so a fan. I love those two so much. Like, oh my gosh, those two stole my heart. As always, still appreciating every actor and actress on this show, and I really hope that there's more of such shows because you can obviously tell that it's very hyped and it's honestly worth the hype as well because it's so good. I'm very excited but also very sad to finish because I'm at episode 6 now out of 8. So So yeah, I almost binged it, but then I realized that it hasn't finished yet. There's one more episode, so I decided to stop at a point where I could stop. So that's all for my interlude to this video about COVID. Stay safe, guys. Stay healthy. Anyway, I didn't do much reading, but okay, today I kind of got through a lot of The Turn of the Key. It feels very weird because the moment I tested negative, I started to feel like wanting to read again, but when I was positive, technically I had a lot of time, but all I wanted to do was watch shows. So yeah, I'm at page 288 out of 340. Almost done. So I think I didn't tell you anything about this yet. I don't think I told you that this is in the form of letters throughout the whole book, but I don't really feel like it, because how is it possible that somebody is writing such a long letter to somebody, you know? Okay, not a very long letter, it's a lot of letters to this person. I think it's a prosecutor or something. So basically the main character is in prison and she's trying to get the person to help represent her as her solicitor advocate at her trial to convince the jury, because her current solicitor is not being very helpful to her at all. So she's trying to get him to help her instead, because she feels like he will be a better winning chance at convincing the jury. So she's trying to write to him in all these letters to explain to him what happened from the start. So how she got the job, how she went through the process of getting recruited for it, and what happened while she was being a nanny in this house. It's kind of okay. It's intriguing, but also not to the point where I want to keep picking it up. Maybe it might be just my mood also because of COVID and everything, because I started flying through it for the second half. I'm very excited because we're finally going to find out, I hope, what's happening in this house, because there's a lot of strange things that are happening and it just feels like someone else is in the grounds with her that she doesn't know about, that's trying to mess with her and so on. I have my suspicions, but I also don't think it's going to be proven right, because I'm always proven wrong. It's quite good with the atmosphere. It feels a little bit creepy, but so far I haven't gotten like scared, which was the point of this original video, to try to read books that will make me scared. But yeah, we still have a few pages left. Hopefully I will get scared and be like, oh my god, you know, like I don't think it's paranormal. I don't think so, and I don't know how I'll feel if it turns out to be paranormal. So we shall see, and I guess I will continue updating you when I eventually finish this. It is now the next day, and I have finished The Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware. Also, I didn't realize that this is my first Ruth Ware. I somehow thought that I must have read a previous book by her because of all the books that she's written, right? But no, apparently this is my first. So yeah, that was something interesting that I wanted to share with you. As always, let's start with trigger warnings first. Still cannot smell anything, but I can kind of taste things now. At least there's that. Trigger warnings for sexual harassment, physical, emotional and verbal child abuse, child neglect, cheating, panic attacks, suicide, self-harm, alcohol consumption, blood and injury depiction, death of a child sister, murder, poisoning, physical assault, incarceration, death by fall and drowning. In the end, I decided to give this 3.5 stars because towards the end, it started to get very clear that I cannot say anything other than spoilers, so I'm just gonna put spoilers. Okay, before that, I decided to give it 3.5 stars, mainly because I was kind of meh about the ending. It was building up very well, but the ending kind of fell flat for me. I kind of didn't really care anymore. I just wanted to find out like what exactly is happening, and that's all. It's very hard to explain, but I guess I kind of saw it coming also. So that's all for my non-spoilers. Okay, so for the spoilers part, there was that whole part about Jack, right? And she was suspecting Jack, and I was kind of suspecting Jack as well, but turns out it was the kids who did it. Specifically, it was Maddie who did it, and it was kind of explained right at the very end with Ellie's letter to Rowan, also known as Rachel, because we found out that they're actually siblings like her. I guess that was the most shocking thing in the whole book for me, because I wasn't even expecting it until like right before the page where she revealed that thing, where somebody, I think Rhiannon, mentioned that the dad had another family and a baby elsewhere. So I suspected that that might be the case, and it was actually turned out to be the case. But that was kind of like a too late to discover kind of thing. That was the only thing that kind of shocked me. The part about how Maddie was behind everything and she was actually in the attic orchestrating everything with her mom's old phone, it was kind of like I guess it was kind of like, oh, so it turned out to be the kids. And also it turned out to be Ellie who pushed Maddie. I don't really know how to feel about that. Thought it was fine, that last part. I was kind of disappointed because I don't know what happened after that review. So whether Rachel, also known as Rowan, decided to spill the truth and say that Ellie was the one who killed Maddie, or she just went to prison. And also the fact that Jack, even though he didn't turn out to be the perpetrator, he cheated on his wife and child with Rowan/Rachel, although we are not sure about things with his family, whether they're divorced already or anything. So there's that part. I'm not sure, because everybody was hyping this up to be like a very good book, and with the turn of the key and everything, I thought it was be like something much more sinister behind this. I think when I was actually reading about the part where this part was involved, it was just kind of like, oh, okay, you know, I didn't get scared. I guess the doll's head was kind of creepy. The fact that Maddie can orchestrate everything is kind of unbelievable to me though, to like scare people off and things like that. That's all my thoughts on this book. Hopefully I enjoy another Roofware better than this, but I'm not sure, because people have been saying that this is their favourite Roofware of all Roofware books. So I'm not sure, we shall see. That is my second book for this particular video down. My third book of this readathon down. I'm gonna continue with Mexican Gothic, but I'm not sure when I'll get to it. I'll update you when I have more thoughts on that, and that's where I'll leave off on this particular update. I didn't even update you that I was reading this book, but I have finished it already, and that book was Mexican Gothic. I think you would have seen me read with a candle lit up for this. I think you would have seen me watching a movie, so I crossed off that prompt also. I watched the Frankenweenie one. It's quite funny because I woke up at 4 a.m. because that's the time difference, right? And we were watching this completely different movie, but I didn't even notice because I thought we were building up towards where the dog would appear. But it was a completely different movie, and it was like quite laggy, so while it was lagging, the dog died. So it's quite funny. And then I also joined the 24-hour readathon. I realized I didn't update about that. That was quite a fail because I didn't really read much during that 24-hour readathon, but I did join it. I did try to read. I just didn't update you. And because there wasn't much to update you. Anyway, let's talk about my review for Mexican Gothic. Let's start with trigger warnings first, as always. Trigger warnings for attempted rape, cannibalism, drugging, eugenics, forced marriage, gore, hallucinations, incest, mind control, mentioned miscarriage, murder including babies, racism, suicide, and reverse sepulture. So overall, I gave this 2.5 stars. I didn't update because I was waiting for some point of this book that I will enjoy, but I didn't. So it was just meh read for me. So it's about Noemi. She receives a letter from her newlywed cousin who is begging to be rescued from this mysterious doom. So she heads to where her cousin is, which is called the High Place, which is an estate in the mountains of Mexico, owned by the secluded Doyle family. This is gothic horror, so there's like all these disgusting parts, which was kind of the only thing that made me interested in this book. It's far more gory than I thought because there's all the attempted rape and everything, so it's like quite adult. The thing about this book is that I really tried to pay attention to all the different characters, but I really didn't care. Things were just happening and then I was just being very okay with whatever was happening. I just wanted the book to end. It's only 301 pages, so I took one day to like really sit down and read it. All I'll say about this book is it really didn't attract me, didn't really scare me, didn't really care about this book, to be honest. So I decided to settle with 2.5 stars. Honestly, not giving a very good coherent review because I just really didn't care about what was happening in this book. But I just started reading Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. I have the library book. That one, I feel like I'm immediately more intrigued because that one is kind of like about this book that the main character's father wrote about the family living in this house for 20 days before they had to leave the house because the house was too terrifying for them to live in, and the father made a whole novel about it, and that novel was sensationalized to the point where wherever the main character went, people knew about that book and her because that's kind of like their real story. Now we're following her in present day. I don't know what she's doing because we just got the backdrop only, but I'm already much more intrigued because that one we got one chapter of the published novel that the father wrote as well, so it's kind of like two books in one. And I don't know, it's just something about that book that I'm just much more intrigued by. Hopefully there'll be a much more terrifying read because so far the two books that I've chosen, or the three books that I've read so far that I hoped would scare me, have not scared me. I'm also reading the manga. I'm at like chapter 20 out of 69 of Gata Butata. That one's just like a typical college lifestyle. We're following this female main character and this male main character. They were together in middle school but they broke up, and then now they encounter each other again as freshmen in university. So we're seeing where things will happen in that as well. That's all I have to say, and I will come back and update you again when I have more updates. Oh my god, this is what, chapter 9? Chapter 9, I got goosebumps. Oh my god. Okay, I've calmed down. It took me a while, but okay, I've calmed down after finishing your letter. Oh my god, okay, so I made the decision to change my TBR from Gata Butata to your letter because I was 31 chapters into Gata Butata out of 69 and I honestly couldn't take it anymore. It's probably because I've just finished watching My ID is Gangnam Beauty and it's like literally the same vibes, like college vibes, freshman, super fluff with a love triangle kind of thing, which I could clearly tell that I wasn't going to enjoy, but I tried to push on, hence the 31 chapters, but I realized that I really wasn't enjoying this, which is not the webtoons or manga's fault, it's literally mine. So I decided to change my TBR. I marked it as DNF. Probably not gonna go back to it because I literally picked it up for this readathon. I went to Google and searched for short webtoon recommendations, and I found your letter. Found a link for it on Webtoon, immediately started reading it, and I finished it. Kind of got lied to because the comment told me that it was 12 chapters. It's 10. So I wasn't expecting it to end, but it ended. And if you could tell whatever I was trying to say in the previous clip, I got goosebumps at chapter 9, which is the second last one. Oh my god, okay, let's talk about what your letter is about. Okay, basically, I'm trying not to spoil anything because I need you to go and read it. I'll leave a link down below, I guess, because it's literally the webtoon link. Read it. Oh my god, okay, so your letter is about Sorry, who was experiencing bullying after she stood up for her classmate, her friend, who was getting bullied in class, and so she stood up for the classmate. And then this kind of thing happens, like when you stand up for the victim, the whole class turns on you, even though that should not be what is happening. The bullies turned on Sorry. I thought they were gonna weather through it together, but the original victim was transferring schools, and I think in the end Sorry decided to transfer schools as well, probably because she couldn't take it anymore, and probably because handling it by yourself is much more terrible than handling it together. So she transferred middle schools. So the original middle school was like a private middle school. She transferred to a neighborhood one, if I'm not wrong, and then from there there's this scavenger hunt in the form of letters. That's all I'm gonna say. Just read it. It's just 10 chapters, but it will change your life. If you couldn't tell, I gave it 5 stars. I was getting emotional and teary by the time I finished it. Easiest 5 star I've given in a while. Oh my god. I'm being so dramatic, but like, oh my god, it's really good. It's really good. It's really a story about love, about friendship, about youth. Okay, I'm gonna venture into spoilers just about how it ended, but that's basically spoiling everything. So please, if you haven't read it, skip ahead. Okay, read it for yourself. It's so good. I wished that we got more, because it ended with them finding Yeonjong, the friend that linked Sorry and Eugene together. He was sitting on a wheelchair, so I assumed that his surgery went well, but I need more about them together. But I guess that is kind of the best way to end it also, because it kind of tells you the answer, it kind of gives you an ending, but I just need more. But okay, I read the epilogue. It's just an author's note basically. So the author was saying how she had a vision to finish the story in 10 episodes because she wanted it to end by the 10th letter, which has a meaning to it, which makes sense and is definitely significant to the author and to readers. But it's just, oh my god, I need more. But okay, I can understand why. The most important thing now I need to know is whether or not there is an anime, because I think the author's note mentioned that there will be like an animated version, animated film coming out, and apparently it was supposed to come out in 2019, but I need to research more into that. But yeah, oh my god, it's so good. Probably gonna be one of my favorites of 2022, even though it's only 10 chapters. I enjoyed it so much. I hope you enjoy it too. This is what the bingo board looks like now. I crossed out make a fall drink because this is hot chocolate. I'm not sure how you can count this making it if I literally just open the pack and add the hot water, but we are taking whatever we can get. And technically this vlog should end now because it's so long already, but I really want to add in Home Before Dark for this video because I feel like I might get scared, which is the whole point of this video. So I'm gonna extend this vlog by a little bit, but feel free to stop whenever. I'm pretty sure nobody's watching at this point already. Yeah, I'm kind of enjoying this so much. I am on page 80 out of 384. 300 pages left. I can do this. I aim to finish this tomorrow because tomorrow is the end of my super long week of rest. So I have to finish it by tomorrow. I won't have time after tomorrow. So yeah, wish me luck.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? We have some work to do now. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you?
Complaciendo para todos los bailadores con esta rola que dice 1, 2, 3, 4. ¡Eso! 1, 2, 3, 4. On a scale from
1 to 10, my friend, you're fucked.
So I didn't really update because I was rushing to finish it, but also because I wanted to keep reading and I don't think my thoughts would have changed. I finished Home Before Dark. Trigger warnings for mentioned cancer, child death, murder, parent death that happened in the past, pedophilia speculated, snakes, suicide and terminal illness. I'm so happy I read this for this video because I gave this 5 stars. I think it's the first horror I've ever given 5 stars to. I don't know if it's just on the high of everything, but I don't know, I feel like it feels right to give it a 5 star. I don't want to question too much about it. It's the only book that I actually got kind of scared by. Oh my god. I was wondering whether it's paranormal. It just kept me on the edge of my seat, and it's really great for when you want to finish books fast. And I really liked, as I mentioned at the start, that there is the book included in this book as well, the novel that the main character's father published. After knowing everything, it's like I'm trying to figure out what's real and what's not, and it's just... Okay, let's go into spoilers now. I was very shocked that there were so many twists at the end. So many, oh my gosh. I was kind of expecting Dean to be involved, so I wasn't surprised by that. I was kind of surprised when we thought that she did it. She killed Petra, but actually it turned out to be Martha, which makes sense as to why she hasn't left all these years to come back into this story. But wow, like oh my god, the fact that she's behind it and that she was actually Miss Pennyface and Elsa was Mr. Shadow. But also that means that the little girl that Maggie saw wasn't explained and accounted for. So I still have no idea whether there's like paranormal elements to this or not, which makes it so good because it's like people can have their own speculations about it and it's not all spelled out for you. The door at the back, the hidden door was, oh my god, so creepy, oh my god. And the snakes, oh my god, the snakes. I was squeamish when I was reading that part, like oh my god. And it made me question whether the bells and everything that the father published in his novel was real or not, but I don't think it's real, so he made it up for that novel. But the main character experienced it because Hannah was behind it, using that hidden door, and oh my god, it's like goosebumps. I really enjoyed this, 5 stars. Creeped me out just in time for Halloween. I'm just gonna end the video here. If you're still watching, you can leave a pumpkin emoji because I think this is going up around Halloween time. So happy Halloween in advance. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this. I hope you're having a great week and a great day wherever or whenever you're watching this, and I'll see you in my next video.